just give me a moment. Hi everybody. Hey Jide. Hey Ola Kenny. Hi. African Canadian weddings welcome. Wendy will be welcome. Alice Jeba welcome. Please first off check test. Can you hear me? Let me just be sure that you can hear me first. Before I continue talking plenty things. Just let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that I'm audible enough and that we're good. Hi CTKK. Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening. Toby Numa. Hey. It's like the first time I'm seeing you on my live. Hi. Okay guys, please can you hear me? We can. Busy Fashion. Hi. Thank you so much for letting me know. I'm so pumped. Hi. I'm so sorry. Ode, AIT, Liwat, Ode, Jules. You guys, I'm so excited. Hi everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Because you know, if it talks it's international stuff, we don't just do it local. Hi everybody. I'm so excited to be here today, and I'm more excited because we are 11 months today. If I talk 11 months today, like whoa. Just this time last year, June, we started, and by the help of God, we've been coming out every month after month, you know, to air the program. And now it's month 11, so next month we're gonna be one. I wish I had some music. I didn't plan this thing very loud. I just got some drum roll. But talk's gonna be. I didn't plan it, so please forgive me. And I'm thinking, my head is pumping. What are we gonna do? Hey Maya, hi Ajeri Salah, welcome. And I'm like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna be one. What are we gonna do? Shake, give away. And let me just, you know, buy some people some cars. You know, just pop some things. You know what I'm saying? Just paint the hotel red. You know, with money. I'm just thinking, you know, but I don't know. If you have ideas, let me know, because we gotta do something. We're gonna be one. Hi, Adeni doing. Hello, Miss Chicha. Hi, hey, Hubs. Welcome. Thank you all so much for joining in very early. Hey, Obaru. Hi. All right, I'm so excited to have you here. You're here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being part of this. You guys, your support is what has kept us this far. Like 11 months, no jokes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so excited. Like, you can legit tell that I'm excited. All right, so today I'm just trying to put this up well so that I can read it carefully. Now, today, hi Tiffany, how you doing? So today we're going to talk about something very interesting. We're going to talk about marriage. Remember that coincidentally when we started the FED Talks, we started with marriage, right? And you know, people like love, people like marriage, people like love things and all that. But we're doing it from a different twist today. We've talked about marriage, we've talked about the struggles that come with marriage, we've talked about challenges, we've talked about abuse, we've talked about purpose, we talked about failure, we talked about a lot of stuff in 11. We talked about COVID, you know, we've done a lot of stuff. Hey Tiffany, welcome. FX, welcome, you know, welcome everybody. And this time around, we're doing marriage, yeah, we're doing love, but we're doing it with a different twist. So, the couple I'm bringing in today, right? Fantastic people. I knew Rennie when we were still young, when we were still, you know, jumping up and down the area in Abulegba, you know, having awesome time together as friends. And then, of course, life happened and everybody, you know, we all grew and stuff. But it's amazing that I thank God that we still have, you know, this relationship. I can call on her and say, hey, I'd like to have you on the show, and then she can honor it. Now, what we're doing is we're talking about people who are married at a very early age. Marriage on its own has a lot of, you know, it has challenges, it has its struggles, like we've heard from past conversations. If you missed those conversations, please just go back to like June, July, August. Yeah, the first 4 months was strictly marriage, relationship struggles, handling, communication, all that stuff. We did a lot of that in the first 4 months of Effect Talk. So you can want to go back and just check it, and it's also on YouTube if you want. So yeah, now marrying at a young age. I mean, marrying at an old age, that one says still get, you know, you're still struggling. Then when you're not married, like at a very tender age of 22, and her husband was 26 at the time when they got married. Of course, I mean, you know, there are a lot of things. I don't want to start telling you the things before we start to talk about the things. So, you know, we're going to be doing that here, talking about how it went, what it is like to get married at that age, if it is something that should be advised, I mean, what should we do do, I mean, what should happen, blah, 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 stuff like that. You know, we're going to do a lot of deep dive, so stay tuned. Today's going to be amazing. But before we start, before I read their profile, and before I tell Rennie to please send me an invite, I'm just going to say a word of prayer. So, Father, we thank you again for today. Effect of these 11 months to the glory of your name, we worship you, Lord, be exalted in Jesus' name. We commit today's talk show into your hands. We pray that you take awareness, you will teach us yourself, you will reveal truths that will help and shape lives in the name of Jesus. After we speak through the guests that are coming, and let everything go well, let everything go well to the glory of your name, God. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Hi, viewers. So, I'm checking to see if okay, so Randy, you can send me an invite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read their profiles. They're big people. They're not joking big. I mean, we're big people here. You know what I'm saying? So they're great stuff. You need to check Rennie out. She has an interior decor outfit, you know, and then just recently she launched her NGO just for the health and then education bit. Amazing stuff. Like, you need to see what this power couple are doing. Okay, and her husband is a pastor, but besides that, he's also a business strategist. I'm going to read their profile. Like, you should see the amazing stuff I'm about to do. All right, and that is a hey, welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to accept the request, you know, and direct authentic. I'll give the fastest growing full service interior design company in Africa. Through her focused leadership, Renke has succeeded in positioning authentic. Hey, let me pause and say, hey. Oh my God, I am so excited. Yep. I'm sorry, I had to pause on the profile reading. I need to get this with some more. Good afternoon, sir. I think I should even kneel down. Maybe I should prostrate because I feel the anointing. It's an honor. It's a privilege. I should stop anything. Wow, it's so great to have you guys here. Good afternoon. Hey, Rennie, how are you? Awesome. Thank you so much for honoring the invite. I was about to read the profile, so I'm just going to go back to the profile. Just wait, I'm coming. All right. Yeah, through her focused leadership, Renke has succeeded in positioning Authentic as a leading interior design company for 4 short years. While the company is based in Lagos, it has served clients across multiple states in Nigeria and in Dubai. Our clients cut across industries in finance, hospitality, non-profits, schools, and a 5-star hotel. Amazing stuff. Renke has led her team to execute several projects of various complexities. Our company employs 6 staff and 40 contract staff who specialize in carpentry, painting, electrical works, and all that. As part of our contribution to nation building, she has hosted free seminars and trained over 100 people on the business of interior design. Renike has received entrepreneurial nominations and awards and is a frequent speaker at entrepreneurship and empowerment seminars. If you check her page, I mean, she's just always talking, always speaking, like, as in, very soon she's going to be in the White House. If you just watch out. We're not joking here. Now, she obtained her first degree in industrial mathematics from Covenant University and a second degree in financial mathematics and computation from the University of Leicester, United Kingdom. Like I told you, this is national people we're doing national things on this stage. Monica is happily married with beautiful kids. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful yes, son. No, I won't say that part. Scrap that. So let me now read her husband's profile. Hold up. I need to get this one. All right. Okay, so let me just go back. All right. Abayomi Molane, pastor in front, please, with honor. Just like the way this thing came out, this come with pastor, so I cannot just slam Abayomi on your face, please, pastor. Now, most people call him Yomi Mo. Recently completed a demanding and rewarding executive MBA. So apart from the fact that he's a pastor, I'm going to read his business profile so that we know that it's not just pastoral things. He's a very intellectual man. That's why I'm really married at that age. Because only vision that this man has prospects. So I need to catch him before he moves out. So let me quickly do this. He recently completed a demanding and rewarding executive MBA program at Lagos Business School, finishing as one of the most outstanding students in his class. As a result, he was inducted as a member of the Beta Gamma Sigma, which is a
which is regarded as the highest global recognition a business student anywhere in the world can receive. He has spent the last 10 years building a career as a corporate strategist, a role which implies that he provides strategic advice to board CEOs and corporate executives on critical decisions. Of course, strategic advice appears somewhat simplistic. However, nothing can be further from reality. In many instances, billions of... Okay, let me move. Giving strategic guidance is 8 to 5, or more accurately, 8 to 7. However, after this time slot, he also consults for Fortune 1000 companies on varying business issues. Yeah, Fortune 1000, which means some of the top 1000 companies in the United States. Apparently, the Better Grammar Sigma recognition has given him some visibility, which led to being invited to become a council member at the Gerson Lehman Group. I hope I pronounced that properly. The platform to which has counseled companies with billions of dollars in investments. Guys, as in, I don't even know what to say. I feel like this is a lot. No, so guys, you know how we do it here. Let's welcome the Mulahis to Effect Talk Show. So please show some love. Whoop, 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 whoop. So I don't know if it's me because it's breaking. So can you guys hear the Mulahis? Can you please hear them properly? I need to be sure that it's not me because I know that you can hear me, and I'm sure you can hear me, Veronica. So I don't know if it's my earbuds. Maybe I should. Can you guys hear them? Can you hear them properly?
Hear us clearly. Hear you very clearly.
Awesome. Now I hear you now. Okay, yeah, I hear you. I hear you, sir. Monica, do you want to say something? Let me be sure I hear you too.
Hi. Hello.
Okay, amazing. Yay! Guys, so thank you so much for welcoming them. Thank you. All right, so I'm just going to hit right at it. You can say no, we can't.
Yeah.
What are you knowing?
Maybe it was his response maybe before we spoke.
Okay, you can hear them now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, because I can hear now. Awesome, you can hear now. Great, because I can also hear now. Good stuff. So I'm just be asking randomly. I can ask Rennie, I can ask Small, and then we'll just interchange. So today we're just going to be talking about your marriage journey and the fact that you guys married at a very early age. As at then, when I heard America was getting married, I was like, oh wow, what's really going on? I didn't even think I knew my balance and buried. I was at the wedding, I was there, but around I'm like, hey, what is happening? What is marriage? How did we get here? And of course, I'm sure that a lot of things have been going through people's heads, and even you guys, for you to have made that kind of decision at that age, something must have pushed you to do that. So we're going to be talking about the challenges, we're going to be talking about the reasons, how you overcame it, where you are right now, and anything you want to say to people. So let's just start from the very basics. So I'll start with Rennie. So how did you guys meet? Let's start from there. Don't tell me about the proposal and all that. Just tell me how you met. Just basic how you met.
During NYSC. But it's interesting.
Okay.
We both went to university, but we never met in uni. So but we met
okay.
Yes. Became friends a year later.
A year later you got married. Wow. Okay. Hold up. No, so I'm not hearing again. Wait. I need to, maybe I'm just going to disconnect my AirPods. Though I don't think that's the problem. Let me just be sure that I've exhausted all options. Just a minute. Take that, and I'm just going to hear it directly. Let's see. So, okay. I'm sure you can still hear me anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rennie, do you want to say again?
Okay, so I said that we met during NYSC. It's amazing that we went to the same uni, but we never met during uni, right? But it was during NYC that we met, and then we became friends, and then a year later we got married.
Wow, 1 year, everything settled. Someone said NYC connecting people since 1900. Now we should never scrap NYC. All right, so Mr. Mo, I want to ask, right? What did you see in Rennie that made you decide that you wanted to get married to her? Before I ask my next question, which will be to you.
What did I see? I saw, among other things, gap tooth. I saw gap teeth. I'm just kidding. Yeah, obviously now, we were very good friends. So for me, that's very important. And friendship, goes beyond other features such as beauty, because, Of course, beauty is important too, don't get me wrong. All right. But fundamentally, because we connected at a very deep level, all right, we were really, really friends. We were working in the same company together. We would go for lunch together. We would make noise in the lunchroom, crack jokes, we'd be laughing forever. You know, we made each other laugh. She made me laugh, I made her laugh. And so, fundamentally, from a place of friendship, there was that very strong connection. All right. You know, she gets me and I get her very well at a very deep, you know, that kind of
deep level.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, when they say two people, they sync, you know, in a very, in a very,
Sobs.
in a very, I don't know whether it's even spiritual. Maybe that.
Well, let's get there. We'll get to the spiritual phase. So, okay, so that takes me to my next question. At that time, you were, I don't know, were you even 26 at that time? Maybe you're 25, right? Obviously, you're 25 when you guys met because, I mean,
Yeah.
you got married at 26, and then Renica was 21 as at that time and got married at 22. So, I mean, you were 25, Renica was 21. What made you, you know, decide to, I mean, if you had asked her out and it was just normal, you know, we're dating and then we'll just see how it goes till later, that's normal stuff. Because people from 18 people already do it, right? But I mean, you already said that you wanted to take it to the marriage level. Like at 25, what made you decide to take that decision to settle down already to a 21-year-old lady at that time?
Well, from the moment we started dating, you know, it was clear in my mind and in hers that we were not dating for experimentation. All right, it was heading straight to the altar. It was not let's see what will happen. Let me taste you. Let me you taste me. It was not sample. Let me sample you.
Oh my God.
It was not all that Kashama. Let's see where this heads. You know, I suppose my general background, upbringing, makes me, you know, a bit very intense. Let me just use that word, intense, in the sense that I set goals, I plan, you know, from uni days, I was very intense. I used to write my to-do list of when I'll eat. So I was a bit structured and, you know, clear in my mind in terms of what I want to achieve. I set goals, I chase them, I achieve them. If I miss them a little bit. So in my mind then, I was already clear about what I wanted. It was very, very, you know, what I want to use here, intentional. So, and for her too, I saw that as well. She wasn't willing to experiment. Let's just see where this goes. So there was that level of agreement, okay? And in fact, we started the relationship, was it in March? She said I should wait. Now let's have an official start date of April 1, right? Or was it April?
July 1st.
Or July 1st. Okay, so we were ready to start the relationship in June. Right? But she said, wait, let's wait till July 1st. So that there'll be an official date that we can't forget. Have you?
It worked now. At least
So it was that kind of seriousness. Yes, we were very playful together, but there was a lot of seriousness. I remember when she had a birthday party. Was it that year? When her 21st birthday, she invited her friends. You know, everybody for party. I was the only one that came wearing suits with pocket square and tie. And all the other.
Oh my God.
Guys came in jeans and, you know, just a regular party. Me, I came my best suit, best pocket square, best tie, best white shirt.
And you came like an hour early, even before the
and I came 1 hour early.
Or maybe we were the ones that were late. Remember?
Yeah, so that's just trying to give you a sneak peek into my own disposition in terms of structure, focus, you know, in terms of some form of rigidity, but you know, these days I'm getting a bit more flexible. Yeah. So if you know that about me, and also if you know that I was raised by a soldier, you get a sense that there is of direction. We are not gambling. We are not guessing. We are going for what we want, and we go after
Right.
it. All right. So that's the place where that
Okay.
decision. It was easy for me.
Got it. So if I would ask, based on what you said, it's not like you had said it in your mind that at age 26 I want to get married. But when you met her, then the decision came. Okay, network is fine.
Can you
So I didn't get
can
your
you
answer.
can you say that again? I hope it's not my network or yours. You
Okay, yeah, it was yours actually, but let me say that again. So I said it's not like you had decided before Rennie that, oh, at age 26 in my life I want to get married. It was you met Rennie and the decision happened.
precisely, you got it. So
Right.
I had a date in yes, that's the kind of person I I can be sometimes. So
Right. Oh, wow.
20 something, I must have no, it wasn't like that. I can be like that, all right, when I said I'm a bit intense. All right. But for this particular subject marriage, that wasn't the case for me. It was Rennie that actually made the decision very easy for me. All right. I had found someone that gives me peace, makes me happy, irrespective of
Mm, was very straightforward. Right.
the network.
Okay,
Right.
effective, can
Right.
you give
Okay. All right.
like 5 seconds? Want to change or 10 seconds? Want to change
Yeah,
the
you want to
network?
switch your internet?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's fine. That works. That works. All right, guys. Hey, so I'm already having an awesome time. Yeah, so I noticed that the internet was a bit shaky. So yeah, good stuff. Right. And then, I mean, in my head, because I know someone, a friend, a very good family friend, and he had already said at this certain age, I want to be married. At this particular age in my life, I want to be married. But Mr. Moll is now saying, saw Rennie, and then marriage came. Okay, so I think we're back, right? Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Rennie, still hold though. I'm still with Mr. Mo for now. Just hold a minute,
Nope.
right? I'm coming to you. So one more before we shift from this particular question series, right? Before I move to your wife. So you were 25 then. What was the feedback like from your parents, your friends, like, hello, you're 25. Why is the marriage you're thinking about? How was the reaction with people around you? Before I come to you, first let's talk about the people at your friends, your parents, and all that stuff. How was the reaction?
Well, I would say it was mixed reaction. Some people were surprised, okay, but those who really knew me, they knew that this guy, if he says this is what he wants to do, just leave him. He's thought it through, and he possibly knows what he's doing. All right, so that generally, at least those who were my friends, they knew the logic of his decision making. Those who were close to me, they knew the logic of decision making
Right,
is often based on facts. He's thought about it and things like that. But one of
right.
my brothers, interestingly, cracked a very nice joke. He was asked because he was not married then. No. He was asking me that, "Oh, Benny, are you running? Why are you running down the aisle now? Why are you running to the altar? Why are you rushing to get married?" All right. He was
Yeah.
just saying that humorously and joking, but other than that, really, I didn't get any significant.
No, there was no major. Oh no, you're not your parents and stuff. Okay, good stuff. Wow, amazing. So, Moranica, now your turn. So, when Mr. Mo came to you and asked you out, normal stuff, want to date. But then you were 21. When it was now like a marriage stuff, how did you feel first? How did that make you feel like I'm going to be getting married at age 21 or 22? How was that like for you?
Ask if people can hear.
Can people hear? Because I think the last comment says
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you now. I can hear you.
before
Okay.
we change the
All right, go ahead.
internet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Okay, so it's interesting, right? Because for me, I wasn't really, that relationship person. I was always just, let me see, we can hear. Okay, fantastic. I mean, thank you for the feedback. So I wasn't really dating anyone. I probably maybe just dated one person my whole life, and even that one person was like 6 months, and that 6 months, when I was in Nigeria for the UK. Do you understand? So like I'll just used to say, oh God, oh please, oh don't let it be that I will not be like at 40 years old. Oh, there's nothing bad in it, but with the way the pattern was, I was later that I found out that people used to try to ask me out, but they would even be afraid to come and ask me out, and I don't know why, because I'm usually you're nice, jovial, funny person. So but I remember when someone came to ask me out. In fact, he did like as serious as he is. He did PowerPoint presentation. No, he did PowerPoint presentation. I know. He did PowerPoint.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. Like on maybe like I think 10 reasons why I should accept to be his girlfriend.
Wife.
Why? Okay, wife. Like you didn't even say girlfriend. Jumped straight to wife. I say her.
Why?
We're working in the same place. So I'd gotten to the office like around, I think, 7:45. I'd seen the printed version of the PowerPoint on my desk, and I'm thinking to myself, I was just laughing.
What
And I
is
think that
this?
he had put a lady in gown and a man
That was the
in.
last slide.
Okay, that was the last slide. Okay, so he had already done the proposal. I was laughing. So every slide I was opening, and it will be something very. We need to look for that. I don't even know where it is again. Unfortunately, because it was office email, like, and we resigned, we left the place.
All right.
Because we were very.
Yeah.
So actually, like serious reasons. So not be say, oh, I like you because your eyes are red, or I like you because you're that. Like really reasons, right? Even he would say, so the presentation, was just like, so these are the reasons why we should we should, you should proposal. Oh, that's what it. Did I give you an answer that time? I think that was when I announced that, oh, okay, you know what? Let's just make it an official date. We had done, we had that, and then we started dating. I think immediately we started dating again, like July 1st. Maybe I think 3 months after again, it's like, you know what? I think that we should get married next year. And I'm like, next year, okay.
Yeah, by that 3 months down the road, 3-4 months down the road, I had gotten a solid job with KPMG. All right.
Right.
So, I was still doing NYC, but I had gotten the job. So I was shuttling between the company I was working, ExxonMobil, and KPMG, going for trainings in and out. But I was clear in my mind. I was going to get working in KPMG. So tell me now, what's waiting remain?
Nothing. Not really. Nothing.
I don't calculate them.
So I think at that point, right? So this was me that was saying, oh, I want to get married early. I want to get married early. But I don't think that early was like 22. I was not thinking like 25 thereabouts. Do you understand? Yeah. So when he said, oh, you know what, let's get married. I remember clearly. I said, no, like maybe we should do it like upper year. And then he came back again with another proposal that, you know what, your parents' anniversary next year is on a Saturday. Won't you want us to share the same anniversary? I said, okay, it's a serious matter. The fact that you have even got to check calendar, even me, that I'm the owner of the parents. I did not know that my parents the next year was a Saturday. And I said, okay, no problem. But I just heard that, and I said, okay, nice, that's fine. And I think that for me, I was sure and it was clear that this was the person that I wanted to get married to. I think I was when it now was becoming a reality. I was like, oh my goodness, am I sure I'm ready? Do you get? But his mom, the sweetest person ever. Like those, my mother-in-law, they know that like she's sweet as a. My mother is here. I don't know if she is here, but I think she's sweet. She's sweeter than that's even my mother herself knows. My mother, even my father knows. Do you understand? great she is. And so I think I've spoken to her, and she had given me rest, assurance and everything, and I just said, okay, no problem, that's fine. If the husband, his head is correct, the family members, their head too, they are correct. What else am I waiting for? Yeah.
So how did your parents, I mean, what was the reaction with your parents when you went to say, Mommy, I want to marry? Daddy, I want to marry. What was
So
that
it's
like?
amazing, right? So for my mom is usually, jovial with people, so there were guys coming, in my life that time. And my mom, as she is, she was just, she was just observing everybody. But for my dad, I realized that, all the guys that will come, and I don't say all the guys, and not that they were like,
You were hot stuff.
but they were there. There were lots. There were
Mm,
lots.
a lot,
Now there were lots.
Mhm.
a lot of you guys.
A lot, oh my brother. So anyways, I always know that my daddy would just go upstairs. He does not send anybody. But with Yomi, it was different, right? So he did not say that, oh, I approve. You know how men can be, with their actions and inactions. You would tell that he
Yeah.
approves, right? So I remember that time. One of the reasons why my mom wanted to quickly get married to me. So he used to live at Chevron. Me, I used to live at New Okoba, now. So and
This house here.
they were doing,
Coco.
they were doing that in Yanakwaja Road. My mother will first you, and you don't know Lagos. You don't know Lagos like that. As in island boy now, he's only island. Go to work, come back. Like you don't know mainland. So you will first use like 5 hours. Somebody that's supposed to use when it's coming from Chevron, maybe you pass 7 up, pass up, you will land in you will go and pass Maryland. I don't even know how you to pass. You go and pass Maryland,
Wow.
Yanokwaja, go.
Wow.
You
Traffic.
you would have used 5 hours first. By the time you get to my house, you can only spend 30 minutes. Not 30 minutes. You have
As
to be running
in,
back. So I think it calculated you that I cannot be doing this kind of
come to marry.
long distance relationship
Really long ago.
for 5.
As in,
Let me quickly capture this auntie, so that we can be in the same house together. So some of the reasons why I think that, but that's just out of the way.
Do you remember?
right.
Sorry, do you remember I came to the house and I think I cook something for you guys in your house. Maybe
I
I
think that
fried
was December
plantain.
time.
There was something I did. I
Mm-hmm.
just
That was
did
December.
for the whole house.
Yeah, even Boli's here now. She tasted it.
Yeah.
Can people still hear us? Can
Okay.
hear Abby?
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
Abby.
So now, Rennie, so at that point, what were your fears? Because obviously, even if you are 40 years old and you want to step into marriage, you will still have a bit of, but I feel like for a younger person, like a younger person, I just want to know what was going through your head at that time, like your fears, your concerns, what was going through your head
So for
then?
me, it's, to be honest, right? The only fear that I had, because at around 22, let me not lie to you, it's not that anytime I look back and I'm thinking, wow. But then I have like mentees coming to me to say, oh, they want to get married, and I'm like, how old are you? And they're like 24. Are you not too young?
Imagine, look at that.
I was 22 when I got married. So for me, at that time when I was 22, I actually thought I was like 30. I felt very matured. I was first child, I'm first child, first grandchild on both sides. In school, I would usually maybe like take leadership positions and stuff like that. So I thought I was mature though enough. So but for me, I think the only thing that I had at that time was, wow, so you're actually going to be with this person, because I've never been in a relationship for long, right? I don't months max. So I'm here now thinking that. So that time I would look at people that have been married for 5 years. It would look like 500. Like 5 years marriage. Like, serious? So imagine saying, so you're going to be with this person for the next say 80 years, 85 years. I think that was what I was
Right,
like,
right. Those were your major fear. All right. So let me ask your husband the same thing. So I mean, was there anything that was like a fear in your heart when you were about to, as the day was dawning and then it was getting closer? Do you have any fear about the journey?
I know they fear. Me, Me, I be so down.
Okay, great. So okay, so now ask Mr. Mo. So when he started, right? When he started, what were the challenges that you guys faced in the early years of the whole journey?
Okay. So with every relationship, not even married, there will be challenges.
Sure.
What we
Yeah.
would consider a significant challenge at that time was the financial situation. All right. Remember, I said I had got a job, steady job. All right.
Yeah.
But the steady job was 120K per month. All right. And the thinking was she would also get a job, but unfortunately, she didn't get a job in good time. So for a significant period of time, we were depending only on my 120. Right. So it was a bit challenging during those 8 months. All right. But we had a plan, and that's the thing about when you are in a relationship where both of you agree, both of you can discuss everything. There's transparency. You can come up with a winning strategy. All right, where there is transparency and sincerity. Okay, so one of the things I did then was to get 2 ATM cards to this 120 account. All right, I had one, she had one. So it was
Okay.
spend as you like. Spend as you
Beside 120K, wow.
let's don't finish spending. But again, see, what that did was really you're empowering somebody with all you have. This is my whole entitlement in this life. Take it, spend it. But what you then find is that because of such transparency, you then see that instead of her blasting it, she's even helping you. So it was a bit challenging, but we were able to navigate that period together.
Right.
That's the key lesson there. All right, that in the period of you're able to navigate it together, discuss it. I remember one of the things we also did, I've shared this several times, it was, to save money. Sometimes I used to fetch water from the office. I'll carry empty bottles from the house, all right, and I'll put in my laptop bag. So there's laptop, there's charger, but there are 2 bottles,
Wow.
2 big bottles,
Wow.
all right. And I would fetch water from dispenser in the office, in the bag. Sometimes, just in case I forget, you will call me from the house. Don't forget to fetch
Wow.
nice water. All right, but that's just a case of yes, we have challenges, but we are navigating it. So during that period, but I can say clearly,
Right.
also mature enough to
Okay.
all right. Yeah.
So awesome. So financial challenge, because I know that money is a major money is a major strain in
Yeah.
marriage. So let me ask.
Okay.
Yes, please drop your questions and then I'll take it and I'll ask our guest. All right. So in terms of handing
We are
what?
not seeing comments.
At all.
Oh, you can see how come? Are you
Yeah.
serious?
So
Oh
can we?
wow. But when you see before that network shift,
Yeah.
were you seeing comments there?
Yes. Before.
Yes.
Oh wow, maybe that's what happened. But I'm seeing it, so yeah, sorry. What do we do now? So somebody dropped a comment that can they ask questions. So yeah, you can ask your questions and I would read it out for them to respond to. So it's fine. So yeah, in terms of should I say attitude? I'm trying to look for the right word. In terms of What's the personality? Yeah. And Ish, can you hear me?
Yeah, so we're saying that should
Can
we
you hear me?
disconnect and reconnect? We're saying should we disconnect and
Oh,
reconnect,
okay.
or
So that you can see, right? So that you can see the comments, right? You would like
Yes,
to see the
yes.
comments. Okay, so that's
Let's do that.
fine. I mean, yeah, so you can do that so that you can see the comments. So we'll just take it right back. Awesome.
okay.
Guys, so we just have 1 second and then we'll be right back so that the Malays can see the comments that you guys are dropping because they can't see our comments. And I think it was when we did that network shift. So yeah, you can drop your questions and I will definitely read it out for them to answer. So whatever you want to ask on marriage, because I mean I have a lot of questions, but why not? Please bring it on. Let's ask them many questions as possible. So now we heard from Mr. Mo. He said that one of the major challenges they had there was finance. But I want to go a bit deeper. I want to ask something that has to do with the conflicts that arise in marriages in terms of personality, in terms of handling conflicts, handling issues. And at that time, especially when they were quite younger then and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing when we come back. So this is like to on a break, on a break. So since there's so much feedback, if people like a lot of gist, you like a lot of stories, it's a lot of lunches, right? But I mean, I'm sure that we were having a good time and a great time. Temperaments, how they come back to the young age. All right, I'm going to do that. Once they come back up, I will ask that question once they send me another invite. So if you're just joining, we'll be talking about early marriage, the challenges, and the victory. So that's what we'll be doing. We have the Malays here with us, and it's such an amazing time. The second every person I'm about to accept them. Welcome back. So, can you see now?
Yes,
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 yes.
yes.
Oh, awesome. So, I guess it was that sweet. So, there's a question here, and then I was funny enough, that was what I was going to ask. And I was going to ask Veronica, but somebody has already asked, so let's just take it. So, Javi is saying temperament. How do they cope at such a young age? So, I'm just going to expand it so that you can answer that question and mine together. So, obviously, couples have issues, challenges. One couple might be the one that wants to keep malice and that one wants to get angry. I mean, how did you handle temperament at that age? How did you handle issues? How did you handle conflict? And how did that go? Let's just put it that way.
I think you should answer.
Okay.
Okay, great.
I would say maturity is the main word. All right, that answers that question. So at that age,
Okay,
26, I don't think I was thinking like a typical 25, 26. In fact, at age 18,
right.
age 16, I wasn't thinking at the level of the typical 18-year-old. All right. Um, and
Mm,
why was that so? I did a lot of reading personally, okay, and it was a culture in the house where I grew up. We read a lot, not just academic books, but beyond academics. Okay, so in the university
mm,
days, I read lots of books: business, psychology, relationship, marriage, and I read many married books. Got to understand what causes issues in marriage. So by 25
right.
I was ready, all right, mentally, all right, for, I wasn't going to be reacting this, making the mistakes that others have made since I have read about it
Right.
and learnt about it. And I have, seen how to navigate those mistakes. You understand? So that's for
Right.
was a very important
And you gave me books to read.
point. And when we're dating, then leading to marriage, I used to give her books, all right, because it was a case of I've seen what book did to my mind, and I felt it's the same thing. Let's be on the same page, at least on certain subject matters. So I used to give her books. She would read it. I remember one time I gave her a book, read it in 1 week. She read it in 1 day. I said, oh, more. This one can match my intent. I don't know, say la. But again, so that for us was very reading, learning, you can't just be, you can't just be getting your knowledge from blogs and random
99.9.
societal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
structured. It has to be deliberate. You've, you know, just
Mm.
like many things we do even today. You're going into a business. Read about it, learn about it. Before she started her business, simple. She was studying for about 2 to 3 years before she even set.
Okay.
You understand? So that you don't repeat the mistakes that other people have made before. You understand? So,
Mm.
so that's why the age.
Also, somebody is saying what specific mistakes that you should be practical. So maybe you just give us one or two examples.
Sorry, say that again.
So somebody said, I'm sure it's from what you were saying. What specific mistakes, please?
No, so when I mentioned specific mistakes, I was saying what I was referring to is that people have made mistakes before. It's best not to
All right,
repeat the mistakes that others have made, especially if you pick
right.
up books where certain things like that have been documented, and you can read and
Mm,
learn from other people's mistakes. The
right.
experience is the best teacher. There's value in that saying,
Mm,
but I think a bit of refining of that statement that makes more value would be other people's experience. Mm? Other people's experience is also a really good teacher, maybe better than just your own experience. So sometimes people have made
mm,
mistakes, they've written books, they are sharing it with you. You can read from it, learn from it. All right.
Such that when it's happening in your own, when it's happening to you, because you already have knowledge of,
knowledge.
read about it, right? You can get it to, suit you. Now, obviously, like a practical example, I'm trying to think about something practical, but maybe as we go on, we'll remember and then we'll share.
Right, right, right. Right. I'm sure that the example is, oh, maybe there was one issue that happened and how you guys managed it and how you learned from it so that it will not be replicated again. Maybe in how you handled an issue that made you angry and then how you're able to handle the situation. I'm sure that's like a practical example that the gist that people want to hear and
Okay,
how you guys be able to,
let me
overcome that
share one of
situation.
such. There are several examples like that too.
Obviously.
If I start today,
Obviously.
we're not going to finish. All right. So share one with you. There was a time I can't remember exactly. I think I've also shared this before. I can't remember exactly what she did, but she upset me so much, so much that I was very angry and I wasn't talking to her. All right. Silent treatment.
Right.
Okay.
Mm.
That was my response to the anger. Very upset. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll talk to her, I'll go to the office, come back from work, I won't talk, I'll just maybe enter a room
So now.
Man
and
of
lock
God,
up.
though. Man of God.
All right. But she herself knew she had upset me. But I can't remember exactly what it was. But one
Yeah.
was thinking that me that I used to teach people and preach that love your neighbor, forgive others their offense. If they slap you, turn the other side, let them slap you. All right. So it was now dawning on me that now that someone has offended me, I can't forgive. So in my mind, I was being judged by my own mind that I ought to be able to forgive
Mm.
someone if I am teaching other people to also forgive. So
Yeah.
when I got home that
Yeah.
yes, she upset me, but when I got home from work, the first thing I just did was instead of just walking to the room and go and keep quiet, I just went to her and I hugged her. All right. I just
Wow.
and right there in that moment she started crying and I said I forgive you and we lived happily ever after. Right. So that's a practical example.
Right.
So there are other examples. One day our nanny said
Mm.
to us that said to her that I have never seen you and Oga fight in the 7 years I've lived with you.
Wow.
Imagine that it is possible that two people will live together and not have any disagreement.
Not really
It's
right.
not true now. But what was
Okay.
actually happening was that we respect each other enough not to degenerate in our disagreements to embarrassing one another. Do you understand? Such that someone in another room does not need to know that we are disagreeing.
What's going on?
Raise our voice. I don't need to say your father. I don't need to carry knife or carry something to break your head. But we can respectfully disagree. Do you understand? So when she made that statement, it's not as if we were deliberately trying to shield her from agreement. It was just because there is that agreement between us that I can't insult you. I was telling some people recently that my wife has never insulted me in 10 years. Insult that Uriye, so
When cut this soap for me, cut this soap for us. We need it.
do you understand?
Awesome
Never
stuff.
been a time where she would say your head is not correct. Your mates are giving their wife better money. You are giving me ATM. You are giving me 20K. There's never been any moment of insult. Insult in the sense of insult. There's been disagreement, but there's not been insult. Somebody's wondering, if I insulted that one, you will come. Well, it'd be like
amazing. Monica, so I mean, I think I'll ask Monica now, right? That somebody is asking you, Mr. Mo. Oh God, what's the difference between malice and silent treatment? Is there a difference?
I don't think there's difference.
Why are people like this?
One is
thank you, sir. There's no difference. They want to hear. I want to justify their malice and silent treatment.
That's the question itself.
So there's no difference. Right? Okay, so Monica, let me ask you then, right? I mean, so your husband has, in a very amazing way explained to us, some of the challenges that you guys had. So in your own idea, I want you to also tell us, at that time, we won't talk about at that time when you were young, what challenges did you think that you guys had? Plus, how is it possible how were you able to intentionally, not ever, with this testimony that you just said, insult? Because obviously you've been angry at different times with your husband. I mean, obviously has done things that have, upset you. And how have you been able to maintain control? So that's two questions. What challenges can you remember that you guys had in the early years of your marriage? Plus, how have you been able to maintain control in place of anger?
Okay, so I think I'll start with the second question. So first off, right, before I got married, my husband had told me that he doesn't like, what was the word again? He doesn't like trouble or something. He does not like trouble. He doesn't want, anyone that would not give him peace.
I like my peace.
Right? So he had said that, but I don't know if he when he said it, I don't know if he knew that I was going to take it seriously, right? So serious that I actually took it to God in prayers. And I told myself at the time that, God, with your help, like, I don't want to ever raise my voice at my husband, because he had, quoted that scripture, please remind me, the one of
it is better to live in the corner of a rooftop than with a contentious wife.
Exactly. So at that time, I don't want to show by in my own home that my husband, prefer to stay outside than to come inside, right? And so I pray to God, about that. Then also, what had also helped me naturally, right? Naturally, I'm the kind of person that respects all men. No, I don't mean men, like men and women, like everyone. Whether for me, your work, even the gatesmen that open the door for us, I respect everybody. So easy as well for me to respect my husband as well, because I feel like there's some things that we do, it's because we know that probably maybe there will not be consequences, or even those consequences, right? I usually give this example, and I'll say that no matter how upset you are, right, you cannot slap a soldier, you cannot shout at a military man, right? That can even annoy you more than a but because you know that you cannot you dare not, right?
Do
But they
that.
will,
Yeah.
except you can collect the beating or no problem, or you can decide. So I'm like, okay, if there are people like, I don't, or there's some people that, in their offices they cannot talk to their bosses anyhow, right? So
Yeah.
that we have some level of control, whether we.
Mm.
Because my husband has shared has shared something about how two guys, working in an oil company, they know that the policy in that company is no fighting, and then one of them upsets the other, and they decided to wait the after close of business that day. As soon as they stepped outside of the office compound, they started to punch themselves, right? But they could have punched themselves inside. But they know that if I punch you inside,
Yeah. Yeah.
God,
Mm.
self-figure job. So I feel like there's something that will always restrain us. So it depends on the level. So for me, that has always been, my own. That's what has,
Right.
right.
Your
Yeah,
constraint. What are that? Yeah.
exactly. And I think it also helps. That is the kind of man that he is as well, because I'm sure that there's some other people that it will not be this easy to control, because you want to give back,
Yeah.
happy, but
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
shown, yeah, to the heart, he has shown over and over and over and over again that he's a sensible man, right? And because of that, like, I really, it's easy to respect. There's another thing as well. I can't remember the first question, but there's something I also wanted to mention, that um one of the things
Right.
that one of the things that I also had said to myself, or like I don't even know whether it was prayer or if it just happened. So I hardly So there's some things, when things happen to me that I don't like, it's very easy for me to forget about it, right?
Mm.
Like I forget. So my husband can annoy me, say last week, and then he annoys me again this week. Guess what? I've forgotten that he annoyed me last week. So I'm treating this week,
Yeah.
right?
This week's
But
own.
that was not the case with my husband before. My husband was the kind of person that
I open
you
five
open file. That was the same thing you did June 14,
1940.
1962.
Oh
Same
my
thing you
God.
don't did again in another style in August 6th, 1985. Now
Mm.
you are repeating, and I will not be looking at. I don't understand what's happening. To the extent that I will now be upset with God. That God, why don't you make me remember my own too? I will now say, I'll
Yeah.
go and get a book. I'll be writing all these things. So that when he wants to start, I'll
Mm.
just open it,
Book
and
of life.
book of life or book of remembrance. I will just I would just start reading it out to him back. But instead, I said, you know what? There's no need. I don't want to be imprisoned by all of that. And then I think over the years, maybe by the 7th or 8th year, my husband has now jumped, to my own side. So now, even him to just doesn't
Mm.
remember anymore. So I've been able to
Remember.
on that. It took a while, but see, we are here now, right?
Mr. Bo, I'm going to ask you a question on that shortly. I'm going to ask you a question on this. Because the honest reality that there are a lot of people like that. Some people are like that. It's just the way they are. They don't know how to forget. And some people, well, the time we once we sort it, we are moved, right? So, and I know that some people might need to learn how to intentionally move past that phase. So we're going to get back to that. So, Brian, let's go back to you. Just finish up.
I can't remember the first question. You see,
Challenges. I mean, when you guys just started, what were the challenges that from your own side you felt like I mean, but now of course probably maybe hopefully you've gone past, but at the initial stage of your marriage, what were the challenges to you?
so Muhammad he has talked about the financial part. Um, so for
Yeah.
me, I think that the first 5 years, like they were we're on a cruise, like it was just so small, so sweet, everything. So I think between the 5th year and the 7th year, we had like a serious rocky relationship between the 5th and 7th. I
Mm.
say these people are always like, oh wow, like you would have thought that by the 5th year, you guys are already fast. There's nothing that can make
Yeah.
it's supposed to be happening like in the first year or second year, right? We didn't have it the
Yeah.
first 5 years, but by the 5th, 7th year, between 5 and 7, we just realized that we're all
Mm.
loggerheads. We're always keeping malice. Any small thing that he does, it would upset me. Any small thing I do, it would upset him. Until we had to one day sit down and really ask ourselves what exactly is the problem, right? And then for me, from that we realized that. So for me, But on my own end, I realized that there were some things that I was already taking for granted. And then secondly, I wasn't putting as much work as I was supposed to be putting in my marriage. So I was just leaving it as, is it not us? We are okay, Joe. Like there's no need to put any work in it. So I then realized that that was really so that really caused challenges in our marriage that time. So I was just very nonchalant. It wasn't like, oh, I didn't respect him or anything. It was just I wasn't putting that much work. It's just like maybe like your business, for example. You're just leaving everything to chance. Obviously, things will start happening. You're not planning. You're not doing things that you're supposed to do. So for me, that's what happened. And then by the seventh year, eighth year, we jump back at it. And then I then realized that we have to actually be very intentional. If not, things can actually go south.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. Awesome stuff. Because I think that's such a very valid point. Some people say see finish. I don't know, because sometimes we just get relaxed, especially when you have a very fantastic spouse and you think that you never get angry. Oh, we're doing fine. It's just so easy for the other person to unintentionally, because it's not like you propose in your heart that I want to just chill, but because your spouse is very practical, maybe he does a lot of things, he just takes responsibility, he handles, so you don't go and chill. And I think that's like a normal human nature, except you now intentionally say that no, I'm not going to take this person for granted, even though he does or she does a lot of stuff, I will still put in the energy and all that stuff. Amazing, amazing stuff. Thanks for that, Rennie. So, Mr. Mo, so far me there say I'm like you, you're like me, all those things are past. Please. Like what Rennie said, a very valid point. And that's why I like to talk about attitude bit of it, because all of us have different personalities in marriage, right? And some people find it easy to, just move past stuff, and then they handle fresh issues as they come. But some people are going to, I believe that you're a very meticulous person. You are very, you do your things like that. So how did you move from where you were to, where Morenike was, whichever one? So how did you move from that play?
Um, well, there's a word in marriage that I use a lot: negotiation. Um, and negotiation is not always having your way; is also being able to accommodate other people's personalities, preferences, so that we can both find a middle ground that works for both of us, all right, as much as is practicable and possible. So, left to me, I would rather stay in the house. I'd rather, instead of we watch TV, we read. Instead of going to, let's watch it, something like a documentary. Let everything just be serious, serious, serious. Instead of trying to do something very, do you understand? So, but if I insist on my way all the time, because this is how I am, I will irritate the other person. I will make her upset. I will make her sad. So it is that realization that makes me know that I must be able to uh, have my way sometimes and not have my way sometimes. Okay? And I think if you are someone who likes peace of mind, you will not drag everything with your wife. If you drag everything, every little detail, where are we going to live? You drag it. Well, you can have your way there. You what color we paint the house? You drag that one too. What cutting? Should we open it or should we close? You drag it. It's you that win. What
That's
food?
interior designer.
You drag everything. By the time you drag and win every decision making, you start the thinking, you follow through the process, and you win the arguments. You are winning in your own eyes, but you are also hurting the person gradually. You are alienating the person. You are pushing the person they are not knowing. And that's not how life in business, in marriage, any type of relation. There must be that feeling that we are in this together. I got some, you got some. Or I contributed something, but you contributed something, and we mixed it. It's our decision, not your decision. So it's that understanding that makes me realize I must definitely allow my wife have her way. I must yield. I must, accommodate some of the things that she wants. so that
Yeah.
that peace that I want. All right, because my aim
Fantastic.
is that I want peace, Abi. So if I want peace, I must make sure that I negotiate, I yield my own ground so that she can have her way and I can have my peace.
Amazing stuff. Amazing. I love what you just said, Mr. Boy. I 100% love what you just said. And before I ask my next question, somebody's asking here, I think when you want to answer this, now would you agree that your background played a part in your marriage success? Because also, I think they're asking in terms of somebody asked earlier that how much influence did your parents have in, or how much influence did they have in your marriage? And somebody said that because your parents were pastors, I mean, did that help? Based on where you're coming from. So I think this is ready.
Oh, okay. So again, we cannot see the questions anymore, but we'll move. You just,
Oh wow, what's happening?
I don't know. I don't.
I'll be reading that.
Yes, just reading. So we can't see any comments. Nothing again. All right. So I would say that yes. To a large extent, it helped, and knowing that because my parents are pastors, they are also counselors as well, like in terms of like marriage, they also counsel people. And I think before I got married, maybe like 2 3 years before I got married, my mom would share some of the cases that she's handling. Not that she would come to give me amebo or anything, but it was just so that from it. Sometimes it might not even be. Sometimes my job is maybe my parents discussing, how to handle a case, and then I'm just listening, right? But I think fundamentally, it was just growing up generally, right, in that environment. My parents as well. Like I never saw them fight each other physically. Um, but they actually argued. We could hear, and then we're now at some point there were times where my mom will come and meet us to side her, and then we'll side her finish before we know what's happening. They're in their room, they're laughing, and then you now be
Family politics.
Oh
you now be angry that
You've gone from PDP to APC. The PDP now left you.
my god.
you now be angry that these people that we are even this person that we are supporting is already after a while they were just you were like people all right, do you understand? But they were, we could see their friendship even up till now. They, my parents now. So they are. You could see the love, the friendship, and so
Yeah,
growing up, seeing that, and then living in that environment was very encouraging. And
yeah.
I even said that time when I was secondary school, I remember saying I want to marry someone exactly like my father because I just felt like if I marry someone like
Mm,
my father, I will not have problems. But apparently.
problem.
uh,
All right, so someone is saying if you try to tap your screen, that there's a possibility that you might be able to see the comment. Or maybe you could just slide it. I hope
no,
you slide it, you not get out of there.
so we could see it. So, but it stopped like really far. Remember the last person I asked that what's the difference between malice and silent treatment?
Well, that's the last one you can see. Oh, wow.
So that,
Amazing.
yeah, so
Wow, wow, wow.
exactly, but no problem.
Okay, so somebody else asked a question. Let me just read it for you. What would you say sustained your marriage at that time? At that time, I think you talked about it. And how were you able to manage and grow financially? What was it that sustained your marriage up then,
Yeah.
up to now? And then how were you able to grow then and manage financially? Somebody asked that question.
I would say financial frugality is being frugal is still a very good thing. But what I mean is to manage what you have, all right, so that you can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Um,
Mm,
there's a quote I came across sometime. It says, "You don't grow big to manage well; you manage well to grow big. You don't grow well; you
mm,
manage well to grow big." So, progressively managing the little you have and being able to discuss it that this is what we have, this is our goal. We have house rent, we have a housing project, whatever it is we are working on, how do we grow from this little to that destination? So we have practical discussions. Like there was a time there was this ice cream we always liked buying. I will buy as small as the money was. I will buy on my way from work. I would forget that somebody has my ATM. She has also bought the ice cream. The ice cream was really nice, and we'll now have big ice cream in the house, and we'll continue eating it. Then we realized that we're buying this ice cream too much per week, 15K, 20K, lorry ice cream. So we began to realize that if we don't cut off this ice cream will is our house rent. We are drinking in a,
Yeah.
it was such practical conversations to say, okay, let's cut off this ice cream. Those kinds of practical conversation. It's that practical, all right. It's not a. I don't know. Marriages work better when there's open communication. So if we can discuss
Yeah.
and we can discuss everything else, we can then together to say, okay, instead of buying this ice cream 3-4 times a week, let's make it as a special treat. Do you understand? And that kind of decision
Yeah.
improves your financial position. So it's that kind of thinking and that kind of practical
Yeah.
that we bring into our decision making. When it was something small, think about when our daughter was to get into a school, she had gotten a job, she was on the mainland. Lekki VI schools were more expensive. So the thinking was, since you work on the mainland, let's find a school near where you work. The school fees will definitely be more affordable. Let's put that school. When you close from work, you pick her, you come back home. So it's that kind of thinking, case by case, matter by matter, issue by issue, in deciding in making financial decisions.
Awesome stuff. Wow. Wow, great. There you go. Too many questions. How are we gonna do this? So, Rennie, when you were getting married at that time, in terms of your friendships, your relationships, how were you able to manage? Because I'm sure that most of your friends that have probably still been single, and then just maybe it was just you, or maybe one or two persons that were married. Then, how did you handle the relationships around you? Do you ever feel like, I need someone that I can speak to? Did you have people that you talk to? How were you able to handle your single friends and stuff like how was that process like relationship wise?
Also, for me, it wasn't really a big deal, right? Like, my friends at the time, I didn't treat them any different. Like, oh, me, I'm not married, though. Excuse me from life. No, if anything, maybe it was even the other way, right? Because for me, I was just, I was married. It wasn't like, oh, maybe I was not like Queen of England or something, right? Of which, I'm Queen of Malayan Kingdom, but
Yes, sir.
but so no, I didn't, it didn't occur to me like that. For me, my friends, I would still, hang out with them, just them, everything that, I was still doing, I was, in terms of like speaking to people that was
Awesome.
older, I think that
Yeah.
my mom, will only just, give advice, here and there, and then also read books, also, listen to messages and stuff like that. But I think that, yeah,
It was fine,
yeah,
right?
it wasn't.
Okay. So I think this is from Mr. Mo. How this from Shell? How do two people who aren't on the same level finance wise find a balance? Especially when the man is still trying to make something out of life. Is it sensible to head on to marriage?
Mm.
Well,
Should I repeat the question? Repeat it.
yeah, you can read it again. Let me just.
Okay, just a minute. Let me scroll back. How do two people who aren't on the same finance, in the same level finance-wise, find a balance? Especially when the man is still trying to make something out of life. Is it sensible to go ahead with marriage at that
Okay. Of course. For you to marry, there's a saying I came across. It says, "Without finance, there won't be romance."
time?
Without finance, there won't be romance. So fundamentally, though, for a man, I think if you haven't found your foot, found your footing or your foot financially,
Yeah.
I think marriage should not be something that is at the top of your mind at that point in time. All right, because you don't want to um, get in a situation where you don't have a steady stream of income. You can't forecast into the next 12 months financially where with precision, with some level of predictability. Um, it might be putting more pressure on you to take on a wife, right? Yes, you can dare it, but you must be daring it with a lot of constraints. For example, one of the decisions we made, practical decisions, when we got married on 120K, was that we won't have a child for the first 1 year. Obviously, because there is a cost that comes with having a child. There is joy, there is happiness, but suddenly you see that your 120 is no longer to take care of 3 people. 2 of you are managing it, but 3 of you can't. It can't buy. It can't buy in. You do understand? So it was a practical decision to say, let's delay having a child for now. But in that situation, I still had a predictable source of income. Okay, so I won't recommend for someone who doesn't have a predictable, keyword is predictable stream of income, to go into marriage. I think first get a garden that you are taking care of before you look for Eve. Do you understand? I think there is scriptural order where you have a garden, you are taking care of it, you are naming animals, you are planting tree, you are pruning them, and then you now have a wife that's scriptural order. Adam had garden to manage, was CEO of garden. Then they now give him assistant CEO or something. Do you understand what I mean? Yes.
Totally. Because someone is saying, must you have it all finance wise before you marry?
Not all.
I'm sure that's not.
And
Let me allow you.
you don't need to have it all before you marry, but you must have it some. You must have it some. Don't have it none. Don't have it none. If you have it none,
Oh my
I will
God.
advise Eve to run.
Right.
Do you understand?
And,
The goal is not that
okay.
you have
Totally.
you have amassed so much. Do you understand? The moment I knew I had a source of income that was predictable and was predictable into the future, I was confident to take that decision. You understand? So that's what you really need: a predictable stream of income, a clear head. You don't waste. You can discuss everything with your wife. You can plan together, craft a way from where you can plan your way out from 120K into millions. This is not theoretical stuff.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
we have seen. All right. So yes, you don't need to have it all, but you need to have some.
You can have it some. Also, why we need to write that code? That's a code. That's like Mr. Mo 2021. Like we've not heard it before. Okay, guys, because as the questions are just pouring. Oh my gosh, how do I handle this? We're going to invite them again in future because there's no way we can cap this. So, Renike, I think this is for you. I'll just ask this and I'll ask one more and then we'll try to wrap it. Sorry, guys, so that we can allow the Malays also to stop. How do you handle being good to your husband and also your in-laws? Sorry, hold on. Like if your husband doesn't want you always going to his folks, but his parents want otherwise and it's causing issues. So yeah, I think this is Monica.
Sorry.
Did you get the question?
Yes, please repeat it.
Okay, just a minute. How do you handle being good to your husband and also your in-laws? So, like, if your husband doesn't want you always going to his folks, but his parents want otherwise, and it's causing issues, how do you
Okay, so I think that the first step will be communication. So even understanding first why your husband doesn't want you to go to his folks, right? He might have his reasons. So I don't think, if everything fine, all right, it's one of that. them for many years and understand why he
Yeah.
know, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a wife,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, you want to be, that good wife that always, at the doors, because you feel like if you don't go, there'll be problem, right? But you also want to just find out first from your husband why, like, and I'm hoping, I'm just hoping that you would get answers. That also then gives you some level of, okay, this is the reason why, and then you cannot act based on that. Now, even if you're not even if you're not going there, there are other ways that you can also show up, right? You schedule, calling frequently, right? So for example, now that I'm, usually always busy and everything, I don't go to my in-laws place all the time, right? So I reschedule when we go there, right? So if you can be calling, and now I hear COVID that won't make things easy, right? It's COVID, you can just use uh, social distancing excuse, but you're always calling. Imagine someone maybe twice or three times in a week, they'll probably not really feel your absence physically, right? Also, in the meantime, while you're still being restricted to go to your in-laws, you can send thoughtful gifts as well. Mommy or daddy,
Right.
send
Right.
this ash, okay, or I'm sending this pot of because
No.
I'm thinking because I'm thinking of you, right? So there are other ways that you can come pending the time that Oga can allow you, but let them also feel,
Amazing.
because you also don't want as a woman to, because you're the one that said don't go, you just say no, I'm cutting off
Yeah.
communication, because
Yeah.
know you that they even know that they offended if anything happens.
Mhm.
You understand? So you just want to be all,
Yeah. Very
yes, just very wise about
awesome. Awesome. Great stuff. So now, Monica, I remember you said something like when your mentees come and meet you that they want to settle down, they're like 24, you're like, aren't you young? Blah, blah, blah. So why do you have that reaction now that you have experienced it and they are now like our grandmom in this journey of marriage? So yeah, but I mean, what is your concern with nowadays people marrying at a young age? What is your concern?
Okay, so no, I don't have any concerns per se. My own is just that because I'm now like old, like way older, I'm not looking at people
Yeah,
I think they're like 16 years old or 17 years old. That's just, it's not like, oh, I don't believe
right.
you can get married early or anything. Like I'm even for, getting married early, right? So, but for me, because that big sister, even if you are 30 and then I'm 40 years old and you come to me, so are you sure you're,
Yeah, I get
you
it.
know how your parents, my
Okay.
grandfather, for example, is 87. He still, he still will call someone that is 70 something a young girl. Do you understand?
Yeah,
And you're wondering, his younger sister passed I think
yeah,
last year, and she was about 8 years younger than him. And I was like, why is she that? I'm okay, and this is someone that at the
right.
81 exact. So I just figured that how
Yeah,
old you are, like you know,
yeah,
like those that are younger
right. So,
are just
right.
just trying to be that mother and
So still on this, what do you have to say? Like, I mean, what are the things that you tell people, especially young people that want to get married? What are the major checks that you would say? I mean, based on your experience, I mean, your challenges and your victories and all that. What are the things you say that if you want to get married, I think that these are things that you should place priority on? What would you say?
priority. So I would say that okay, so I don't know if I'll start with the priority question, but first off, knowing that marriage takes work, right, is something that you should go in knowing, right? Some of us are privileged to even have counseling sessions whereby your counselor have repeated this over and over again. But I think that as you enter it as well, you don't really understand how much work it's that is involved. So I would say that because anyone, whether you get married at 22, you get married at 25, you get married at 30, 35, you are still putting that work, right? It's just like trying to tend the garden. You have to all the work to make it beautiful, right? To have like a beautiful blossom garden. So I would say that, knowing that and when in the work, you should know that the work is work, right? Um, so for me, I think that that's one advice that I like to give both young and middle-aged people
Mm.
trying to get, and then also placing each other as priority as well, right? So as a woman, placing your husband as priority, as a man, also placing your wife as priority, and trying to outdo one another with love, right? Outdo one another with love, respect. Um, so yes, I think that those are some of my key. I think I add one or two things.
Yeah, so just before, because I'm going to ask Mr. Mo the same question, just before Mr. Mo answers that question, because that will be what I'm using to wrap it. I'll ask you again, Rennie. So now, retrospect, you've done 10 years in marriage, right? And then if, let's say it's just now, like there's an opportunity for you to backtrack and contract. So it's just now that you're 21, but you have this 10 years experience by some sort of abracadabra, right? What are the things that you wish you knew that you know now, that you wish you knew that you started your marriage journey with? What are the things that you wish that you knew that you are just knowing or you knew in course of the journey?
Supposed to be the same thing that I said earlier, in terms of like knowing and understanding that you have to put in the work, right? So for me, the challenge that I had was because, and I said it earlier, I just left some things for granted, right? So I would say that putting in that work, and then being very intentional about the other person, not just even just assuming things, right? Because sometimes you might be assuming, and then that's not what it is. So making sure that there's clear communication, understanding the other person's needs, and just really putting in the work. That's what I would say on for marriage.
Right, right. So, Mr. Mo, to you, we'll just do like the double in one question. The things that you wish, I mean, you started your journey with that you got to know in the process of this marriage journey, and those who are thinking of starting this, I mean, they're young and all that stuff. What would you say? I think those two questions will literally have almost the same answer. So, yeah, what would you say?
Um. Well, first of all, marriage is not like an achievement. All right. It's not like a medal when they give you a ring that we hereby engage you to become a wife. Not like a medal that you, because these days it seems like that's what it is. That I have been engaged. Oh my God, see my ring shining.
Oh my God.
They just gave you a ring of work. It's like they just made you. In Nigeria, when they make somebody president, we are happy.
Yeah,
It's like the person has arrived to go and enjoy his life. Ideally, it's supposed to be a lot more burden on you. Okay, so
Yeah.
similar to that. All right, it's not like you have now achieved something that you tick off. It's actually that you've now come into a new dimension of responsibility where
Yeah.
to manage your own emotions. You also have to be wary of, you also have to be watchful of another person's feelings, emotions, and concerned genuinely about them. You have to raise children, be mindful about their upbringing. It's more work. You understand? So
Yeah.
if you are ready, if you are certain you have that clear mind, you know that I'm going into a new dimension of responsibility, then I say you are already heading in the direction. You have that clarity of mind, not just thinking about the wedding ceremony. All right, people think much more about the wedding ceremony. I don't know what happened to me. It was the day it was the day before my wedding. I bought a wedding suit. All right,
Wow.
not that the wedding wasn't important. I actually had another suit, but that day before the wedding, 2 days before I went to work. So the day afterwards, I was able to go and buy a suit or something like that before the wedding. So the perspective people have, however, is that wedding ceremony must be peng. It must be, you know, it must go viral. The hashtag must trend. But that's not the main focus. That's just the main focus after the wedding. So if you have a clear, a focused mind on, I must make this marriage work, I must put in the effort, I must raise children to be happy, I must love my spouse genuinely, not like they do it on Instagram, but in the secret, when nobody sees us, I am able to shower her love, forgive her when she upsets me. I must respect this man. I must I'll be accommodating. I must learn not to raise my voice when I want to. I must be ready to make excuses for people. You know, do you understand? You must be willing to sacrifice. It's more work. Oh. I don't know why somebody wants to run inside, run inside to quickly go and. So if you are not ready for that work, just chill, just wait, mature, or let your mind be ready for it. When you are ready for it, then go into it. All right. So that's my advice. Don't see marriage as an achievement. See it actually as a new kind of response.
Wow, wow, amazing. Gosh, today has been whoosh. I wish you guys can see the comments. Like, I feel so bad that you can't see the comments. Like, everybody is like, oh my gosh, thank you for mirroring marriage. I mean, I don't even know how many to read, but like, it's been such an amazing, explosive time of learning, of hearing, of sharing. Thank you so much. I mean, we couldn't even exhaust the questions. Like, I should just keep people here for like 10 hours, just continue telling us about marriage. But thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Online. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your openness. Thank you for the lessons shared. Thank you for these last words that you just shared. I mean, it just helps us to know that marriage is a lot of hard work. Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring this invitation. We are so grateful. We appreciate you. God bless you. And I pray that the Lord will continually keep and preserve your home. And as you're marking your 10th year this year, it will be from glory to glory, new wine, more grace, you know, and your marriage forever be a model marriage for the world to always learn from, in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir and ma. I totally appreciate. Thank you. Everyone says thank you. Everybody's appreciating you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for bye. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. Thank you for being a part of today's show. This is our 11th month in Effectus, and it has been amazing. Next month, we're going to be one. And I don't know, but I think that there'll be a lot of surprises. I don't even know what we're going to do. I can't process it in my head. But, in fact, I would have loved to bring the Malays next month. I didn't plan this thing well. Oh, God. It would have just been a way to just finish deals. Would have done the anniversary celebration. Would have done giveaway there, you know, but...
Maybe we should
but what did you say?
I said, do fan love. I'm just kidding.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Giveaway now, so don't worry. Rani will do giveaway. Rani is just that's what she does. She's a giver. She gives away at all times. Always giving away. They said you give away for boys. So.
Away for boys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. So we'll be back here again next month by God's grace for another lovely episode of Effect Talks with another fantastic guest. I'm talking about something super amazing. We're going to talk about children next month, right? But even the fact that we're talking about children parenting, we're still going to be doing a lot of exciting stuff. Maybe that week of the program, you know, just to have some fun and celebrate fun. Yeah, it's been great, it's been fun, and it's been amazing. So till then, you guys enjoy the rest of May, and I will see you in June. Thank you for always being here supporting. Love you all. Love you to the Malays. Thank you so much. Y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and have a good evening. Bye, everybody. Bye. Oh, I can bring them back, right? Okay, we'll see. I mean, I don't know, but we'll try. All right. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all next month.